Good day, Ms. Rimat. I am Hannah de la Cruz, a student from BSP 12, and I am here to present to you my final output for our subject Introduction to Psychology. So, the topic that I will be going to discuss is principles of human growth and development, specifically psychosexual stages of development by Sigmund Freud. So, first of all, sino nga ba si Sigmund Freud? So, Sigmund Freud, based on my research, was an Austrian neurologist and the founder of psychoanalysis. He uses clinical method for treating psychopathology through dialogue between a patient and the psychoanalyst. Doon niya rin na-develop yung tinatawag na therapeutic techniques, which includes free association and transference. And these techniques have a huge role in the analytic process. So as we go further with the topic, I will discuss more about psychosexual stages and development by Sigmund Freud. So first, let's define what is psychosexual development. In Freudian psychology, psychosexual development is a central element of the psychoanalytic sexual drive theory. Freud believed that personality developed through a series of childhood stages. So sinasabi dito na kung sino ka ngayon at kung anong klaseng tao ka ngayon ay resulta lamang ng mga experiences o mga pangyayari na napagdaanan mo simula pagkabata. And isa na doon yung pleasure-seeking stage na nararanasan ng bawat isa, and it came from the id, which became focused more on a certain erogenous areas. Erogenous meaning producing sexual excitement, or ayun yung tinatawag na libidinal gratification. Or more commonly, ito yung tinatawag na sexually sensitive. Starting teenage years, doon natin mas nafe-feel yung tinatawag na sexual excitement. Based on psychoanalytic theory, at the age of 5, dyan na nagsa-start ma-establish yung personalidad ng isang tao. Early experiences play a large role in personality development and continue to influence behavior in life. So sa simpleng paglalaro, sa simpleng pagalit sa'yo or turo sa'yo ng magulang mo simula pagkabata, is nagkakaroon siya ng impact, may malaking role siya na ginagampanan sa pag-establish, sa pagbuo ng personality na meron ka in the future. Each stage of development is marked by conflicts that help build growth or stifle development depending upon how they are resolved. If these psychosexual stages are completed successfully, a healthy personality is the result. Every stage ng development, which is marked with conflict, can help you build growth and stifle development. But it depends on how they are resolved. The best example is may dalawang mga kapatid na nag-aaway, nagtatalo sila about sa iisang chocolate. So, sa pagtatalo nila, nalaman yun ng magulang nila and pinagsabihan sila. So, the moment na pinagsabihan sila, pinangaralan sila ng magulang nila and inaccept nila yon, yung pangaral na yon, kahit bata pa sila, doon nagkakaroon ng growth, doon na-develop yung personality na meron sila and madadala nila hanggang sa paglaki nila. So, sinasabi nga na nagkakaroon lamang tayo ng development if yung isang bagay or yung isang experience na yon is na-resolve ng tama. If psychosexual stages are successfully completed, a healthy personality is the result. Otherwise, if a certain issues are not resolved in an appropriate stage, fixations can occur. So, ano nga ba yung fixation? Fixation is the persistent focus on an earlier psychosexual stage. Fixation means fixed. Ibig sabihin, nakastuck ka sa ugali or paniniwala na yon. Hanggat walang nagko-correct sa'yo or nagsasabi ng tama, hindi ka makakausad, hindi ka mag-grow, hindi ka magkakaroon ng development. So for example, there's a person who is fixated with oral stage. More or less, ang kakalabasan nun is magiging over-dependent siya sa ibang tao and always siyang maghahanap ng oral stimulation through smoking, eating, and drinking. So, ayan yung mga tao na minsan nakakaranas ng obesity, hindi nila mapigilan yung pag-intake ng too much food sa kanilang katawan. Minsan, at their younger years, sila yung mga tao na nagkakaroon ng lack in their oral stage. So, there are 5 stages of development, namely oral, anal, phallic, latency, and genital. So, first stage is the oral stage. Nagsisimula to simula pagkasilang sa bata hanggang makatungtong siya ng 1-year-old. So, ang erogenous zone ng oral stage is mouth. Erogenous zone, meaning part siya ng body ng isang tao kung saan na-excite yung sexual feelings niya when it is touched or stimulated. During the oral stage, the infant's primary source of interaction occurs through the mouth. Di ba nga, pag may mga baby, una nilang ginagawa, or kalimitan nilang ginagawa na mapapansin natin is nagtatamsak sila. So sa stage ng oral, yung pagtatamsak, or yung tinatawag na sucking reflex is very important. So once na yung bata is na-skip niya yung part na yon, more or less magkakaroon siya ng tinatawag na fixation. Lang sa pagtanda niya, madadala niya yung lacking na yon na nag-result sa drinking and eating. It is responsible for activities such as tasting and sucking. We all know that our mouth is vital for eating. Since yung mga baby hindi nila kayang kumain ng sa sarili lang nila, andyan yung kanilang mga nanay para magpadede sa kanila. So nagiging dependent yung mga baby sa kanilang mga caretakers. Yung mga caretakers, sila naman yung responsible para magpakain sa kanilang mga anak. So ang nangyayari, yung mga bata or yung mga baby na yon, nade-develop yung sense of trust nila dun sa nanay nila. Since yun yung nagpapakain sa kanila. And iyon yung nagko-comfort sa kanila through oral stimulation. In that way, nasasatisfy yung oral stage ng mga baby. So, ang nagiging conflict naman sa oral stage is yung tinatawag na weaning process, which yung mga nanay is ini-stop na nila sa pagbe-breastfeed yung mga baby nila. At dahil nga ini-stop nila yung pagbe-breastfeed sa kanilang mga anak, is nagkakaroon ng fixation. Naniniwala si Freud na pag ang bata ay nagkaroon ng fixation sa oral stage, nagkakaroon siya ng trust issue sa ibang tao and nagiging aggressive siya. Nahihirapan din siya mag-depend sa ibang tao na nakakasalamuha niya. Sila yung mga tao na hindi agad sila nagtitiwala sa isang tao dahil nga nakaranas sila ng fixation sa oral stage. Oral fixation can result in problems with drinking, eating, smoking, and nail biting. So pag nakakita ka ng tao na nagdi-nail bite or kinakagat yung dulo ng ballpen, most probably nakaranas siya ng fixation in oral stage. So, the second stage is the anal stage. So, yung mga 1 to 3 years old na bata, ito na yung stage na nararanasan nila. And their erogenous zone is the bowel and bladder control. During the anal stage, naniniwala si Freud na yung focus ng libido ng mga bata is kung paano nila makokontrol yung bladder and bowel movement nila. So, the major conflict at this stage is the toilet training. At this stage, tinuturuan na ng mga magulang yung mga anak nila kung saan dapat silang dumumi. Yung mga bata naman, kailangan nilang matutunang kontrolin yung kanilang mga sarili sa tuwing makakaranas sila ng pagdudumi. Dapat malaman nila and itatak nila sa isip nila na kung makakaranas man sila ng pagdudumi, ay dapat didiretso sila sa CR at dun sila dudumi. Developing this control leads to a sense of accomplishment and independence. Pag ang bata is nagawa niyang dumumi sa CR o sa tamang lugar kung saan dapat dumumi, nagkakaroon siya ng sense of accomplishment and nagiging independent siya personally. According to Freud, yung success sa stage na to is nakadepende kung paano mag-approach yung mga magulang sa tinatawag na toilet training. Yung mga magulang na nagbibigay ng reward sa mga anak nila tuwing nagamit ang toilet is nagiging encouragement sa mga bata para ma-practice yung bagay na yon. Nagre-result yun sa positive outcome and natutulungan niya yung bata na ma-feel na capable sila and productive. Capable in a sense na kaya na nilang dumumi kahit hindi sila sabihan ng kanilang mga magulang. Freud believed that positive experiences during this stage served as the basis for people to become competent, productive, and creative adults. Pag naman yung mga bata is kulang ng support or encouragement sa stage na to, minsan nakakaranas sila ng anal expulsive personality na nagde-develop sa pagiging messy, wasteful, or destructive personality. But not all parents give support and encouragement to their children during this stage. Yung iba is nagbibigay ng punishment or pinapahiya yung mga bata, which is wrong and nagre-result siya sa negative experience. Pag naman yung mga magulang is masyadong maaga para itrain yung kanilang mga anak sa toilet training, is nagre-result ito sa anal retentive personality and nagde-develop yon ng stringent, orderly, rigid, and obsessive.
Look, it's open. There's chocolate putty right there.
Look, this is not open.
You mean this right here?
No, right here.
Right here?
Yeah,
You want me to take this off?
this off.
This.
Yeah, you do take it off. You can.
It's completely open, Raphael. You can eat it.
Not yet.
Yes,
See,
yes, yes,
this is
yes, you can eat. No, you can eat it right now.
not yet. See, this is shut. Can you please open it like this?
No,
Just like me?
it really won't happen because we're trying not to
It
do
will
that.
happen.
We're not trying to do that, okay?
We're trying to do that.
We're not trying to do that. We're
We-
just we opened the pudding. We opened it. It's open. You can put your spoon in it and you can put it in your mouth.
Yeah.
And that little piece of paper is not going to control your whole life.
It's gonna control my whole life.
No, it's not.
Yes.
It's really not.
It is.
It's insignificant.
So kahit pa maagang naturuan yung mga bata, nagkakaroon pa rin yung na negative effect sa kanila. So the third stage is the phallic stage. Nararanasan to between 3 to 6 years ng bata. Yung erogenous zone nila is genitals. At this stage, Freud suggested that the primary focus of the libido is on the genitals. At this stage, nadidiscover na ng mga bata yung differences between males and females. Freud also believed that boys begin to view their fathers as a rival for their mother's affection. Sometimes, nafe-feel niya na kalaban niya yung tatay niya sa affection na nanggagaling sa nanay niya. It is the Oedipus complex which describes these feelings of wanting to possess the mother and the desire to replace the father. Minsan, yung mga bata, kahit nakakapil sila ng possession para sa mga nanay nila, is nandun pa rin yung takot sa tatay nila na baka parusahan sila or bigyan sila ng punishment. Tinatawag naman yon na castration anxiety. Kung yung mga batang lalaki is nagkakaroon ng possession sa affection ng mga nanay nila, same with the girls, nagkakaroon rin sila ng possession para sa mga tatay nila. And tinatawag naman yung Electra complex. The fourth one is the latency period. Nararanasan naman to when a child age 6 up to his puberty. Ang erogenous zone ng latency period is sexual feelings are inactive. Latency period is a time of exploration in which sexual energy repressed or dormant. During this stage, the libido is dormant and no further psychosexual development takes place. Latent means hidden. Freud thought that most of the sexual impulses are repressed during the latent stage, and sexual energy can be sublimated towards schoolwork, hobbies, and friendships. Meaning, this energy is still present but is sublimated into other areas such as intellectual pursuits and other interactions. Ito yung mga time na yung mga bata is nagde-develop sila ng new skills, acquiring new knowledge, and yung paglalaro is isa sa mga pinagtutuunan nila ng pansin. Naniniwala naman si Freud na it is impossible na ma-stuck yung isang bata sa stage na to. Fixation in this stage can result in immaturity and an inability to form fulfilling relationship as an adult. Minsan sila yung mga introvert and hindi na sila nakakapag-asawa or yung mga tinatawag na matandang dalaga or matandang binata. The fifth stage and the last stage of the development is the genital stage. Genital stage ranges from puberty until mamatay yung isang tao. Its erogenous zone is maturing sexual interests. So at this stage, yung mga libido is nagiging active na naman. During the final stage of psychosexual development, the individual develops a strong sexual interest in the opposite sex. Kung babae ka, magkakaroon ka ng interest sa lalaki. Kung lalaki ka, magkakaroon ka ng interest sa babae. But meron tayong mga tinatawag na LGBTQ kung saan nagkakaroon ng interest yung babae sa babae and lalaki sa lalaki. This stage begins during puberty years and lasts throughout the rest of person's life. Nagkakaroon ng sexual experimentation which sometimes result into relationship in their early 20s. Ito yung time na yung isang tao is nakakabuild na ng relationship with his or her opposite sex. Sexual instinct is directed to heterosexual pleasure rather than self-pleasure like during the phallic stage. So compare sa phallic stage, yung heterosexual pleasure, it is the sexual attraction ng isang tao sa kanyang opposite sex. So the proper outlet of sexual instinct of adults was through heterosexual intercourse or yung tinatawag na sexual intercourse. Fixation and conflict at this stage may prevent with the consequence that sexual perversions may develop. For example, fixation at the oral stage may result in person gaining sexual pleasure primarily from kissing and oral sex rather than sexual intercourse. So sa genital stage, pag yung isang tao is nakarana siya ng oral fixation simula ng bata siya, it results in person gaining sexual pleasure primarily from kissing and oral sex, or mas active sila or mas nasisiyahan sila sa mga activity na ginagamitan ng bibig. As conclusion, if these psychosexual stages are successfully completed, a healthy personality is the result. And that's it. I hope you learned something from me about the psychosexual stages and development by Sigmund Freud. Again, I am Hannah de la Cruz from BSP 12. Bye-bye!